Welcome to the 243rd episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined as always by Chronicle executive editor Eric Schwartz, and we're joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor. Back to just a two-man crew tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
The way the good Lord intended.
Sure.
Two men.
Two gentlemen delivering hard truths to one another.
That's right.
Preambles. We've got a festival update, and there was a lot. They're coming hard and fast these days. First up, not really a festival, but kind of. Jack State Invite Tennis Tournament was Saturday.
Yeah, that's kind of a festival. We did cover it. Rubes was there. He took like 40 photos.
There was a lot of photos. We had a brief story on the happenings.
Mm-hmm. Was that also from Rubes, or did somebody else give you that?
Zach wrote that up.
Oh, okay, gotcha. We didn't get the winner this year, so if you won the Jack State Invite and didn't get any shout-outs, that is Dylan R at cronline.com. Let him hear about it.
Yeah.
Or Zach at cronline.com.
Yeah, or just send a Facebook message to the Chronicle. It will be responded to immediately.
Oh, yeah, everyone. We keep a steady eye on those. It's definitely not an automated response that kicks back and tells you to email us at news@cronline, and then you email us and says, hit us up on Facebook. Coward.
And we've also got Billy Gilman rocking the first of 3 free Music in the Park shows in Chehalis. I'm not familiar with his work, but he looked like he was having a good time there.
You should be familiar with his work. Let me try to pull it up here. Gilman, country music star since he was 11 years old. He topped the country charts in 2000 with his smash hit, One Voice. Still has the Guinness Book of World Records for youngest artist ever to top the country charts.
I don't remember that, and I listened to a lot of KELA.
I feel like I remember him from like the early morning TV circuit around 2000.
He's got that look.
Yeah, and then he was on The Voice in 2016. And
see, my issue with things like The Voice is when they bring in people that have already had musical success.
Yeah.
And they're on. Like, you've had your shot. Give nobody from bumfuck Idaho,
Yeah, I do want to say I was watching one with the wife. I don't really care for those shows, but I do get sucked into them every once in a while. And it was a member of a very successful Christian rock band. I think it was like the Newsboys or something. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I used to be in a band, but now I'm not. Surprise. Like bumps out all the amateurs.
Yeah, like Phil Collins shows up. He's like, I used to be in a band, but now I'm here.
I mean, it's good for ratings, though, yeah. But yeah, there was Billy Gilman this week, and the next one comes up on July 25th. This one interests me. The headliner is Chicago Tribute Authority, which, as you might imagine, is a tribute to Chicago.
Okay.
It's going to be a big band type feel. But they actually opened for themselves as a different band.
Well, that's interesting.
I know. I've not seen that before. So their openers, the Power Players, which is the same 11 musicians.
So it's a county commissioner's board of health situation.
Yeah, and then they're going to say thanks. It was great. Thank you, Chehalis, and they'll drop back behind the stage and they'll come back as the Chicago band.
Do they change clothes or anything?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. But everybody loves these things. So this one's at Recreation Park. Next one's on Friday. What time do these things start? I want to say 6 o'clock. Get there early though. Get your blanket out there.
Yeah, set up shop.
It looked like Rotary was there, was serving up some food.
Cool.
And then, there's 7 p.m. is when the actual concert begins. But people get there sooner, I assure you.
All right, next item. Funtime Festival Parade rolls through Napavine. Ms. Napavine 2025. Isabella Escola was there, waving from the parade and whatnot.
You were, of course, stressing that because she is not Miss Napawina.
What is that? Did something happen?
In past years. No, I like it. I like they keep the tradition alive.
Yeah.
Miss Napavine, that doesn't upset anyone.
No.
Except for maybe Miss Adna, who I heard is a dog. I'm sorry. Not really. That was just a personal shot.
There is no Ms. Adna. Adna doesn't have this kind of... Adna has a lot of festivals,
Well, I mean, you got
nowadays.
what do you got? You got the Dairy Queen or whatever out there. The Dairy Ambassador.
The county dairy ambassador. It's a county-wide position.
Right, and also
often filled by somebody from Pacific County.
Oh, they got a lot of dairy over there.
They do.
Outsized influence, kind of like our tree farmer of the year this week is from Oakville,
we'll get to him.
County. Oh, it's good. They're on the list.
Yeah.
A final festival update is my back is killing me from the knife that you stabbed in it.
I have
when
that
you
on the
canceled
list. That's
your
like
Oregon
3
Trail Days
items
appearance.
down.
Oh, I have to wait that long to voice
You can go over it now. I put it on the
my
list.
righteous indignation?
The notes literally say, I just wanted to give you a chance to get it off your chest.
All right, well, I'll wait for it then. That's fine.
You're going to make it. Oh, you got to stretch it out. Yeah, okay.
It's enough. I had to carry you enough at that thing. So
In focus, Twin City Pride event held in Centralia. People were there.
Yep, Twin City Pride event.
A lot of rainbows and whatnot. Looks like everybody's having a good time.
Yep, had some photos from Ridley there, and that was about it. It was enough to set a lot of people off online, as it often does. I actually tried to keep an eye on those comments, and despite my best efforts, apparently I was not deleting all the ones that were hateful, because I did get a letter to the editor on the topic, which will run on how we need to keep a better eye on the comments, which you're volunteering. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, just throw a moderator on there.
Tough to police, man.
Take it to Reddit, people.
It's even tougher now because it usually like siphons everyone out but most relevant, and it's even kind of getting harder to even get all the comments to appear for everyone, which I more of a feature than a bug, as you would say.
Yeah.
I'm happy to not see them. But yeah, anyways, they had that.
All right, first Adna Garlic, and then we kind of go into a preview of festival section.
Okay, so we're out of the preambles and into the news.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Well, not yet. Okay. First Adna Garlic Festival is this weekend. Locally grown garlic and live music featured. This is coming hot on the heels of the Adna Car Show. Was that last weekend? I think
yeah,
that was
last weekend. Yeah.
Another festival. And 1 week before the Chehalis Garlic Fest. How much garlic is too much?
It's not 1 week before. That comes right after the fair, which is like mid-August.
It's like, several weeks away.
Yeah,
okay.
Several weeks away. A good primer if you're a garlic person, you know? I don't think there's have to be competition.
When do we as a community stand up and say, we the people have had enough garlic?
I don't think you can. I think a good garlic festival, you could have as many as you wanted. We could have 5 garlic festivals. I think it'd be fine.
All right.
But yeah, there was some confusion. We did have some people assuming this is the Garlic Festival, which has branded as the Washington State Garlic Festival. And
taking it big time, are we?
That comes the week after the Southwest Washington Fair. So they're still having that. You might see some of the same people, though. But
I did like one of the requirements for serving food at the Garlic Festival was you had to have garlic in your food.
Yeah, like some sort of garlic, you know? I feel like someone's going to stretch that. They're going to be selling
garlic ice cream. Or
garlic Busch Lights. Just a little around the rim, you
know? Give them a couple seasons. Once they run out of, peaches and apples, it'll be garlic season, baby.
Yeah.
And then tonight are to host 58th Annual Oregon Trail Days celebration. Go off, King.
You son of a bitch. This is be our 4th or maybe 5th, I don't know, time doing the Oregon Trail Days. We were asked by George Sharp, great community man, unlike you.
Yeah.
Perhaps a future Chronicle Person of the Year, unlike you.
I had never
good,
had
close,
such aspirations.
Nice friend, unlike you. Still asked us to come out and announce the parade, so I will be there on Saturday. Chad Taylor, our illustrious and loyal publisher and co-owner, might join me there. If not, I told Cody might join us. Cody Christian.
Right.
He's going to be out there. Maybe even Ridley. I don't know. We're going to man up and cover the Oregon Trail Days.
I'm glad you need
even
Chad,
harder with you not there.
Chad, Cody, and Ridley to replace me on the microphone.
Maybe one of them will spare like 30 seconds and we'll be fine. Like I said, I'm not worried about it. George Sharp does all the hard work there, and
you'll do fine.
Yeah, I've always been like the eye candy, but I'm happy to step up this year.
You're really
and
the
anchor
read up there. I'm just kind of I'm the Robin to your Batman when we get to tonight. I know everybody knows that.
I mean, there was this. What was it? The lighted tractor parade you skipped out on, Summerfest parade that we were asked to do, and I was totally willing to do it. And
not how that
you
went
backed out of that as well.
Somebody had to go home to Forks.
The flood of 2007. It's really like stacking up now. The things you have canceled out on.
Had to go back pretty far for that last one.
There was a gap, but it's still indicative. Still tells a story.
Do you think if you do a good enough job at the Oregon Trails Day celebration, you'll get a secret invite to Tad's Hideaway?
No. I don't even talk about Tad's anymore. I already feel bad enough reporting on it, tearing down that community institution.
Taking money out of Tad's children's mouths.
Do you think Tad's already back in action?
Yeah, probably.
They probably just figured Elle and I can't bust them every week. There's a budget problem.
It's just like flying after 9/11. It's like, what are the odds they're going to be here again?
Yeah, it's a nice move. They should just fire that thing back up.
We also I got a text message from a friend of the podcast who is in law enforcement, and they said you can actually, if you're on the detail doing that, you can have 2 drinks.
There's a 2-drink limit?
There's a 2-drink minimum. Well, not a minimum.
Could really. What if you do 2 trash cans?
I don't.
That's going to affect the investigation.
If you went into this secret party undercover and instantly ordered 2 trash cans,
I mean, they wouldn't think you were undercover at that point.
They certainly would not.
If somebody orders a trash can, you know they're not a cop.
You know they're either like a 19-year-old with a fake ID or a 40-year-old woman having an extremely bad Tuesday.
It would have been way funnier, though, if they did just get shit-faced and then broke up Ted's. Like, everybody put your hands where I can see them.
Well, yeah.
Would have been a better story. R.I.P. Tad's. But yeah, Oregon Trail Day starts Thursday technically and goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Lots of good stuff happening out there.
Yeah.
As you might recall from when you went there, there's the Blue Ribbon Pie Contest.
There is a pie contest. I would like to get a
There's
pie.
a salmon bake out there. We're going to cover the 3-on-3 basketball tournament and the dunk contest. I think we'll have staff out there for that. There's even a 3-point contest on Sunday, but it's like late in the day, last day of the festival. And as one of our photogs said, everyone's going to look the same, shooting threes.
Yeah.
Dunks give you some variation at least.
Yeah, I mean, you could get a cool shot at the 3-point contest, but
yeah.
You don't need to shoot the whole thing. You shoot the
Sunday.
first round.
Maybe mail it in. We'll report on it. But.
All right, and then finally, Christmas comes early to downtown Centralia on July 23rd. We simply cannot miss an update from the Centralia Downtown Association, friends of the program. They're hosting this. It's a midsummer block party on Center Street between Tower and Pearl. They'll have classic games, hands-on activities, plenty of prizes, and even snow. That's right, a snow machine. We'll add a touch of winter.
This is Wednesday, then. This is
Wednesday.
Okay.
From 6:30 to 8 p.m., mere blocks from here.
I didn't go to it last year, but we did get photos, and it looks like a lot of fun. They've got a snow machine out there. They had some carolers.
Right.
Everybody was wearing their Christmas stuff. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, all right. Now we get into the real news items.
Finally.
First up, Glucikamp Perez airs feelings on recent legislative actions concerning the Epstein files. From the story, quote, I don't care what your party affiliation is. Anyone that is going to stand behind hiding pedophiles with parliamentary procedure in the middle of the night, I have no use for that. I believe she used some choice language that got you pretty excited.
I mean, yeah, I thought we were going to get it in the headline or whatever. I guess, I'm not even sure on this, but the original video, as it was sent to me, MGP called the Republicans who voted for this measure, quote, cover your ears if you don't like the cursing.
Did they vote for this measure or against this measure?
Whatever.
Yeah.
They voted in a fashion that would make it to where you didn't have to bring up the Epstein thing. I don't, the specifics I think we link up to, but yeah, she called them weasel dicks.
That's a good burn.
But once we went back, the video with the weasel dicks line was no longer there. It was a shortened version of it. So that's what we wrote up and embedded into this story. A little short story, just kind of what your congresswoman is saying. And yes, I was excited, and it goes beyond partisan matters. If you're a local politician, you're willing to call your opponent a weasel dick, then we're willing to print that.
And you know what? This is a good thing to call somebody a weasel dick over.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's your opinion. I'm not entitled to many of those, but go on.
Well, I mean, of all the things, like, hey, there's this big mythical file, which I'm at this point it's been doctored all to hell.
Yeah.
But still, even symbolically being like, well, just flop them out there.
Yeah.
Dump it out. Whip them out.
Yeah.
Show us what's in the files, what's on the list.
It.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure there's some Democrats on there. Sure seems like there's probably some Republicans on there and probably some people that are so rich they transcend political classification.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that to be public, you are indeed, to quote our representative, a weasel dick.
I just like that it did mince words, you know?
Yeah.
It was what it was.
It's just locker room talk. It's okay.
But yeah, no, on the overall topic, I agree. Put them all out there. Just dump the whole thing.
Yeah.
Put it on Google Drive. Let everybody have access to it.
Well, and like every day that you don't release it just fuels further speculation that you're doctoring it or something. Like, obviously the speculation there is that somebody's on it.
Mm-hmm. Somebody.
Yeah, whomst could it be?
Aaron VanTuyl.
I am not nearly rich enough to be invited to Epstein's island.
Well, you're still a pervert. So
maybe if Epstein had like a barge in the Skookumchuck River, like you could swim out here, but there's nothing here.
Yeah. Anyways, that was fun. Not as fun as the original recording. And if I'm incorrect, like, you know how like the new AI and whatnot, the original version was sent to me. So like after he looked at it, our reporter looked at it and was like, well, we got no more weasel dicks in here. She cut that out. I was like, was I taken? Did somebody create a video of her saying weasel dicks and send it to me? And I
don't think you'd have to create that. Like, she's not one to.
I'm pretty sure she said it.
Shy away from blue language.
It did get altered though. It looks like after it went up.
All right. Next item, fallen animals. Winlock artist honors creatures killed on the road. This is Linda Shepard. She uses a Nikon 7100 she's had for 10 years and a dark room at her home in Winlock, where she's lived since 77. She goes for morning walks. She started seeing animals that had been hit by cars. She felt compassion for these many lost lives and started taking photos of them. She says, I'd see others' photographs of animals that were left on the road, and they often seem grotesque or very bloody. Even the word roadkill turns people off. Instead, I call them fallen animals. Her sensitive art featuring fallen animals consists of photos taken from just the right angle often at eye and pavement level, overlaid with carefully placed graphic art depicting the bird or animal's meandering footprints. She kind of recounts people that have stopped to ask about it. There was a young kid on a bicycle who asked what she was doing and then casually rode off, which is exactly what I expect out of a kid on a bike. Another time, a woman came out from a house and asked her if she had run over the animal herself. Again, she's out for a walk.
It's a good question, though. Why else would you be observing the roadkill with such interest?
Passerby in vehicles often slow to watch her at work before a road crew appears, but they rarely stop. I was ready to call this weird because at some level it's just taking pics of roadkill.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And I only endorse that if it's a really weird animal or a snake.
Oh, yeah. Can't get enough dead snake imagery.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
she kind of sells this whole thing. Yeah, she's into it. And you know what? Who am I to yuck somebody's yum? If they enjoy taking pictures of dead animals,
it was something different. This is our freelancer, Lynn Craig. She wandered in here a few months ago and said she'd like to write a story a month, and she has done so ever since. She finds an artist, writes about them. I think the last one was someone who had spent their entire life in the military and then started doing art. And this one was great. I thought it was something new and different. She certainly has her lane. Am I right?
It's pretty good. Not bad.
I don't know anyone else. When I first saw it, I thought maybe the whole thing was like she goes and takes pictures if your dog gets run over or something nice and artful, like an open casket. I didn't know. But then once I realized it was wild animals, I was like, oh, well, still interesting, still worthy of a story. Fun stuff, though. And you can expect more good stuff out of Lynn Craig. She's a fun writer. She finds stuff that we haven't touched.
Yeah. All right, next item. Buckle up, baby.
Oh, boy.
Morton, former mayor, faced new lawsuit over firing of officer after claims against former chief. This is Greg Peterson, who was fired in 2023 by Morton PD. He says it's for bringing up concerns related to noted dirtbag, sex pest, and former police chief Roger Morningstar. I believe it's a thief? Embezzler, identity
still
theft?
Alleged on the theft part just because it's still in court. But yes, he has been arrested and charged as such.
The lawsuit notes that former Morton Mayor Dan Mortensen supervised Morningstar and had sole authority in hiring or firing police department personnel. Is that normal for small towns? It seems...
I think it's normal for small towns. I mean, I don't think it's across the board for small towns, but I don't think it's outside the norm for a strong mayor system of government.
Interesting. The lawsuit states Morningstar's tenure as police chief was rife with sexual harassment and other unethical behavior. Yeah, we've heard. Multiple women informed the CJTC in April 2023 that Morningstar sexually harassed them while he was chief of police for Morton. According to the report, at least one of those women disclosed Morningstar's sexual harassment to Dan Mortensen, but Mortensen never followed up with her about it. Peterson says there's nothing in the city records explaining why he was fired other than Mortensen said he wasn't a good fit. Cole Cornier was police chief at the time, and he didn't recommend it. When they fired him, they hired another guy, Derek Patsy, who was also being investigated by the CJCT to replace him. After Mortensen was no longer mayor, Patsy was fired for writing a false police report and lying to his supervisor during a fact-finding interview. Jesus Christ. Peterson was rehired after Morningstar quit because he was about to be fired. Peterson claims his firing was motivated by his participation in the investigation and his support for Mortensen's political rival, current mayor Rick Mead. I love describing like somebody else running for mayor of Morton as somebody's political rival.
Yeah, it makes the stakes a bit higher. But I think it's like accurate in this case. It sounds like he talked to somebody and was like, hey, you should vote for this Rick Mead guy. He hasn't done any sexual harassment hiding or anything yet.
Yeah, yet. No shade on Rick Mead. I'm sure he's
No, there's no shade. He's been very open with us and very helpful.
Peterson wants a jury trial and back pay and front pay and I think emotional distress pay.
Yeah, he wanted all the pays.
And boy, I hope they bring in Roger Morningstar to testify and leer at the women of the jury. Again, I have to point this out every time there's a Roger Morningstar story. This guy sat arm in arm with all our top local Lewis County Republican Party officials, your Snazas, your Swopes, your Svensons, and they never noticed that this guy, who everybody else he was ever in a room with, was like, oh yeah, he's definitely a sexual pervert. Problematic.
And I've heard your past statements as well. Why hasn't there been anybody that had come out at any point in time and be like, disavow him in some way?
Yeah, at some point.
If you think back, the most that happened was months later they realized he was still serving on the Veterans Advisory Committee, and they were like, oh, or something to that effect.
And they removed him for not showing up.
They were like, he didn't show up, so he's not going to stay there. No, I'm not going to argue your point on that. I continue to think every time this story comes back up that, and I don't mean to besmirch his name because I don't know him, it sure as hell looks like Morton Mayor Dan Mortensen did a very poor job. And I don't even mean just with this. I mean, also you have your clerk treasurer arrested and federally charged and sentenced for stealing over $1 million in 10 years while you were also there.
I think it was just under $1 million.
Close to $1 million.
With interest, probably.
Yeah. Well, inflation, tariffs, whatnot. It's over $1 million. It was 900 and some thousand. But yeah, that and then this unfolding at all at the same time, it just seems like City Hall was rotten. And I will restate that it's a different people there now, and it even seems like the former officer in this lawsuit made clear that the current chief was not in favor of getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Just like no one's really casting the finger at the current clerk treasurer in Morton, who has to deal with all the embezzlement and people constantly thinking it was her that had something to do with it because she now has the job title. I would push for a new job title if I was that clerk treasurer. Office administrator.
Something else.
Something.
Would you watch, two questions. Would you watch a biopic of Roger Morningstar focusing on his time in Morton?
No,
What if?
No, I'd watch like a Dateline type show.
What if you were played by Danny McBride?
That would be pretty funny, I'm sure. But no, overall, not funny. I mean, it's just a lot of sexual harassment. Again, I'll note, every time this comes up, there's so much like background now on Morningstar that it doesn't get brought up that one of his biggest things was showing up to an attempted burglary by a level 3 sex offender in Morton who has been convicted of entering a home and raping a victim before. Shows up to him trying to get into a woman's house, ends up not doing anything about it and going home.
Yeah.
That's just like one thing we know about. Like, that would be horrible. That would be defining of your tenure no matter where you were at as a police officer.
Yeah, that's just kind of a footnote.
Like, oh, that's the guy that let the level 3 sex offender go after he tried to get into the woman's house.
Yeah.
An MO that has got him a criminal conviction for rape before.
Late for a political party meeting or something.
Whatever the case.
Remember when he was at that meeting and he said Democrats were sneaking into their meetings to infiltrate them to push, like...
That was an allegation at one point. I do remember that.
That was a thing he said?
Yeah.
While wearing a Hawaiian shirt decorated with, like, Punisher logos and AR-15s.
That was at a Lewis County... Yeah, I think that was the same meeting, now that you say it.
And nobody was like, this noted sex offender making these wild claims and wearing a stupid shirt. Maybe he's making us look bad.
The Punisher shirt for a police chief is always a bad look. Anyone that is in law enforcement, if you look up to the Punisher, I sure as hope you're not really covering my area.
The Punisher's whole deal is like murdering
extrajudicial justice. Yeah.
All right. And then our final news item. Chehalis Teen officially announces candidacy for governor. My first thought upon seeing pictures of this young man was that he looks a lot like young Dewey Cox.
Oh, of course. Leave it to Aaron VanTuyl to insult a child.
Did you see the picture of him?
Yeah, we took the pictures of him. He looks nothing like Dewey Cox.
He looked young Dewey Cox.
I don't see it.
All right. You're wrong.
One of the great researchers of that film. I don't see it.
He had a rally at the library to announce he's running, and Jacob was there. Could have held it in a much smaller room. Not a lot of people there. It looks like he'll run as a Republican, which means his lack of political experience, life experience, tax returns, a high school diploma, and a job won't matter when stacked up against the likes of Lauren Culp and Semi Bird. Did his parents go to this?
No.
Okay.
The only people in attendance were our reporter and our photographer. It was something that he's had on the books for a while. I know he has another one for next August. And I have seen people like yourself having fun with this online. And I will say, yeah, it's not the most serious story in the world, but we don't exactly have a ton of teens or any other than this young man who has come forward since I've been here to say, I want to run for governor, puts together a plan, arranges, has his events, appears in public. He's been at the courthouse for various things. He talks. You know what? If a young person in our community wants to do something like this, we'll report on it. I won't say we're going to be at everything. In fact, probably won't be at his next speech.
How old is he?
15.
How did he get there?
How did he get to 15? Well, he was 14.
How did he get to this thing?
What do you mean? Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming he was dropped off or he lives nearby. He's a Chehalis teen, so we did not ask him. That would have been a good and fair question, though, I feel like. But yeah, we'll see. Do I think he'll still be around in 4 years to get on the ballot and whatnot? That's probably the next time we'll cover it.
All right.
It is kind of sensitive, though, because when we cover it, I'm like, I don't want people making fun of a 15-year-old kid, so are you doing him a disservice by covering it? Or are you doing him a disservice by not, like, just he's doing things the right way. He's announced it. He's researched it. He's the first person that has done this. So, like, if we had, like, 10 kids running for governor, maybe we don't cover it. But to me, it was interesting. It's fun. I feel like you don't agree with his politics, though.
I don't think I think you need a little adult experience to...
I agree with you. I think 99.9% of people would agree with you on that. Bill Saran, our friend in East County, his take was, this young man says he's running for governor. I'm going to come give him a look. And I kind of think that's fun. Let him try it. Maybe it was not fun for him to have his thing covered when there was no one there. That was the other thing I thought about. Are we setting him up for ridicule or anything like that? Should be the last thing we want to do. For now, I feel like it's fairly innocuous, safe, local community coverage. Weird local community coverage.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I know myself at 15, I shouldn't have been in charge of anything.
No, I think if I would have run for political office at 15, I would have been bullied for it, mostly by my parents. And they would have been like, clearly you're not getting bullied enough at school if you're doing some shit like this.
I think it says more positively about this young candidate that he was there by himself. And, I might feel differently about it if it looked like you had two overbearing parents who were like, wouldn't it be cool if our kid did this?
I agree.
And they were there handing out literature and seating people. Like, I feel like that'd be a worse look. He's doing it by himself.
Yeah.
But, I think he, from what I saw, has his next speech August 8th at the Shales Library. We will not likely be there. But
is he going to have a booth at the fair?
Go check it out. I don't know. Huh. He should.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
We can do a roundup at the end. That should do it for now.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back, and it's time for segments. First up, Tales from the Takes page. We've got Maureen Harcum. Local equestrian nonprofit succeeds despite strife from neighbor. I kind of enjoyed this.
Oh, yeah, it's part 2. The first one was Lewis County Viral. Everyone loved it.
She previously wrote about the issues Connie and Cassie Riker and their Belmore Equestrian and Time with Tales nonprofit have had to deal with thanks to a nuisance neighbor. Now she's back with an update, and the haters are furious. Oh, yeah. It's going well. She's also she throws in some random hot takes that are...
Yeah, she always does.
Some barbs.
Maureen's takes, she's not going to hold those back for you or anyone else, Aaron.
Cracks her knuckles and gets out her notebook and reports on exactly what she found. One of the first things I noticed was the front arena. Weedy, not currently well maintained.
Yeah, she does that. I mean, this is the columnist who was invited to the White House by Congressman Glusenkamp Perez and returned with her column of didn't have a great time. It wasn't great.
I wish she'd run for commission. She really tells it like it is.
She really does. She really does. And it's not. She does it in a way where it's not hurtful. It's just oh, Maureen. She calls him like she sees him. It's a little weedy in here right now.
But she describes a section of tall fencing shielding it from the farm from the neighbor. The neighbor is in the process of remodeling their house, so they apparently want to stay next door for whatever reason. She also remarked on the lack of flies around the horses and mentions Old Spice for men.
Aluminum-free Old Spice.
Quote, apparently the mayors don't mind. And I was like, is she serious? Is that a joke?
No, that was a joke. They're smelling good,
And also importing little yellow jackets to eat them, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually.
She remarks on the tack rooms being clean, which impressed her. Which, you know what? I don't know Maureen, but I could imagine her walking into the tack room and just nodding approvingly, be like,
I wouldn't want to be around here if the tack room was subpar, to be honest with you.
I guess she would have some harsh words.
Mm-hmm. Harsh but fair.
Yeah. The Rikers work with at-risk youth and adults. They teach life skills using horses. Their students may be low income, have mental health issues, or some type of disability, be part of a divorced family or foster care, from a non-traditional family, referred through the juvenile system. The list goes on. It's a long read, but it's pretty interesting. And like we've mentioned, you get some of Maureen's barbs in there.
Her column her last column was good too, and I don't think we talked about it, but it was her clashes with the assessor's office. I think we did talk about it, actually. Giving advice to people on how to protect themselves as far as their tax burden and whatnot if you have a farm. And yeah, there was Like how she showed up to the meeting and thought it would just be the assessor, and it was the assessor and several others. And
Oh,
she
yeah.
was just like, I did not like that. And I was like, oh, you're in trouble now, Roz. Do you not want to be on the wrong side of Maureen Harcum?
No.
But we are very fortunate to have her column. I have heard nothing but praise for it. And I've told her that, and every single time she's like, I don't know who these people are. They don't tell me about it.
Yeah.
So if you see Maureen, tell her you like her column. Unless
She
you're
should
that
have
neighbor and you probably don't like the column.
She should have her own booth at the fair where people come up and she gives them takes about their
Harsh
appearance.
assessments of their appearance. That'd be a good idea.
Maureen Harcum, life coach.
It's like an honest roasting.
Yeah. It's
Without,
like
the hyperbole.
like bar rescue, but for your life.
Exactly. I think that'd be fun.
All right. And then the other one I have on here, although I feel there are a few others we will be touching upon.
We can touch on them, but
Brian Mitke, a new life in our oldest church. He's got an update on the Clequedo Church, what the county is surplusing. He writes, at the end of the month, the county will open bids based on what the Clequedo Cemetery Board has put together. It looks like the county will have at least one strong option to transfer this important property into the hands of a group that can take proper care of it. Perhaps there will be more bids received that are as good or better. It's a well-defined process, and all bids will be open for anyone to view. Mickey does a good job of addressing kind of the concern we saw from people that this Clequedo Church would just be, kind of kicked out the door by the county, and
whoever buys it type thing.
Yeah, some rich guy buys it and turns it into a pornography store or whatever.
A great location.
A man can
in
dream.
the middle of a cemetery.
What did we just talk about?
That's fair.
Anyway, but yeah, he kind of toured the whole thing and had a good report. And yeah, I don't think the county surplusing this is the worst thing in the world.
I would say like some of the most understated value for the Chronicle is Brian Mitke and Julie McDonald, even John McCroskey, our columnists that are there all the time and they see stuff. Brian went into reporter mode on this, so you note his column. He also wrote a full story, a news story for it, about just the whole process and everything. And he was very concerned too because right when it was announced, I think everybody just assumed the highest bidder is going to come in, which it is. The highest bidder will come in and win this. It's just a matter of if there'll be more than the cemetery board there. And there's so much uncertainty, and I know he was just very interested in calming everyone down and being like, there is a plan, at least one plan that could work out really well for this. And I thought it was great. It was a well-timed thing, too. I saw the Lewis County Historical Museum was also posting critically about it, which they don't do very often. They're not a very critical organization, but just in the way in which it was done. And I think even Scott Brummer, the commissioner, said maybe we could have added a little nuance to say there are people interested. We're not just cutting bait and putting it up for sale.
Yeah.
One of the oldest buildings in Washington, though.
Yeah. Only slightly behind this building we're sitting in.
Oh, no. See, this is 1947. This one was built in 1858.
Yeah, that's pretty old.
Yeah, it's very old.
The other columns, we got a, oh boy, I'll go dealer's choice. Do you want to go Swope or McCroskey first? I don't have notes on either. I've just read the headlines and I can kind of imagine where they go.
Yeah, especially with John's column, it's very much what you would think. The headline is, it's not hateful to want the U.S. to have secure borders.
And then you deleted the second half of that column, that second half of that title, which is, but I'll hate if I want to.
He's had similar columns in the past. And yeah, this one, you're not going to, if you're clicking on this expecting to be surprised by McCroskey's take, you will not. I mean,
for God's sakes, he's got Biden right there in the second sentence.
He's just saying, Trump didn't cause this. He's just cleaning it up.
Who was president before Biden?
You're right.
I forget.
Thank you. Barack Hussein Obama.
It's just like...
that's fair. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, and then you want to do Swope. Lewis County doesn't need a 50% increase for homeless services. We need accountability.
Sean Swope has never once, in his tenure as a commissioner, taken accountability for shit.
He did bring some numbers on this, and what his stance is, as we discussed last week when we had Zach from Lewis County Dems here, is that they are reducing their homelessness. They don't need more money than they had before. It's kind of a waste. They'd like to send it back, but maybe they can't. And then, there are some charts and things in here that you can have a look at. But I don't expect it to sway you, Aaron. I know you're a man
also don't expect any of this to be like
passion.
Legitimate or real. Swope has a long history of just lying.
I also believe that two things can be true at the same time.
Sure.
I'm not taking sides. Then we have letters to the editor on the same topic.
Changing the topic awfully quick there,
No, it's the
are we?
same topic. Future of Hope Alliance of Lewis County in doubt. It was a letter to the editor from Chris Kamenzind. Kamenzind, executive director of Hope Alliance. This is our second letter we've gotten from her saying that things are not going great financially over there. They're also getting this pinch from state and federal dollars. This one was more that the commissioner's decision to withhold the consolidated housing grant funds would be kind of a death knell for their organization.
Well, you know what? If you let one battered woman into Lewis County, they're all going to show up here.
I will say, and I did add an editor's note, that while the letter kind of says all of this has been done, and Commissioner Pollack actually responded to the email, the group email that Chris sent out with this letter, and there hasn't been a decision on it yet. There's expected to be some more discussion, and we might even have an article on it here pretty soon. I know Jacob Moore down in the newsroom is working on a follow-up, just what the practical implications would be for groups like Hope Alliance. I think Salvation Army of Centralia would also be one of those groups that would be interested in this. So hopefully we have some more facts.
Never in his tenure has Swope ever changed his mind or anything. He's not capable of like thought.
Well,
like
I wouldn't
that.
say that at all. But
Somebody tells him an idea
your
and
takes.
he's like, here's a column on this. And you could be like, well, here, this is incorrect. And he'll just stare blankly and be like, the column speaks for
Well,
itself.
have a look at the column, and my opinion pages are open to you, Aaron. You can bring back your power rankings at any time, and your rankings could be Sean Swope, Sean Swope again, Swopey.
It would get flagged for misinformation.
The Chronicle.
No, just of writing his name in something.
All right.
It's just like, God.
Julie McDonald has part 2 of her look. I think there's a third part into Fran Grove's life. Nonagenarian recalls life in Toledo schools after World War II. I found it to be an interesting read. John Braun, a big step toward restoring public safety. Auto thefts fall to historic low. See some positivity in the Braun column.
Wow, what happened?
Been missing out on that.
What, does he like what happened?
City of Toledo thanks City of Winlaw.
Well, no, I want to go back. What does Braun say about how the auto
So you're
thefts
asking me yet again to read the column to you.
I just want to know.
It's a long
You're the
column.
editor.
I don't know that everybody wants to be here. He was basically, as you might expect, saying Democrats went a little bit too far in their efforts to rein in police. And now that they have listened to reason, you can see that it's actually working, that police are able to do their jobs. I don't even think that is like a debatable topic.
Which departments got defunded again?
What are you talking about?
The big thing was like, oh, they're defunding the police, and now nobody.
No,
can stop
that's what I
anything.
mean. You're not really capable on this topic. We're talking more about like the restraints on officer pursuits, restraints on anything like that. You remember the hellscape that this became? How not a man could hold on to his catalytic converter without it being pried from his hands by a thief, by a Democrat.
People weren't stealing catalytic converters and piling into cars and driving up at high speeds.
Yes, we literally had a video of someone doing that from the back parking lot. Are you kidding me? That's what I said. You might want to sit this one out, sport. But the column is there if you want to read it. In letters, we had City of Toledo.
So does Braun thank the Democrats for fixing this?
Maybe in a backhanded way. More of like their ideas didn't work, so the Republicans offered theirs, and those worked great. So maybe you should lean into that a little bit if you're a voter. I think that's the overall take on it. You really want me to read you every word, don't you?
No, I'm just curious. Every Braun column
Anyone
has been
who follows the news knows how the anti-law enforcement voices are probably louder than they've been since the summer of 2020. Even so, police pursuit law is likely safe from being trampled by the majority in a way that the parental law was not. So there's a graph for you.
Okay, there we go.
I can come over and like read the rest to you later, though, if you want.
You get so worked up in your defense of Braun. It's just I don't know, man.
You're in here talking about police defunding and ACAB and all your usual talking
I haven't said anything.
Really
I saved those terms for the golf course.
It's literally it's tattooed on your eyelid. Your disdain for the police is real.
Braun is finally saying, hey, the Democrats did something right. I would love to hear it, but I don't think he's saying that.
Oh, here's a crime story.
Your mic's cutting out. There you go.
Here's a crime story you would like then, an early tease for Science Banger of the Week. Man accused of carving pentagram into vehicle hood in Chehalis. Does that make you happy? You and your Dark Lord, Aaron? It's probably you.
What kind of vehicle was it?
It's actually in the reporting. I don't remember. We didn't deserve it though. It was a stray vehicle, just a random attack.
Oh, yeah, that's vandalism. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, it's malicious mischief.
All right,
mischief.
Now that you're all fired up, you want to move on?
I guess I'm not fired up. I'm just
defund the police.
Defund the police. Can't even admit when you guys had bad ideas.
No, that we can't. Anyway,
run for governor.
I think I'm too old.
Ethan Brunton would kick your ass.
You cut me in half with a machete.
I didn't want to admit it, but yeah, I did look up young Dewey Cox, and I see where you're going with that. It's not derisive. There's just kind of a resemblance.
He's just, it's the same kind of look.
Yeah, okay.
All right, history should repeat itself. A look back in time. I've got 2 on here that they weren't like anything saucy. I just kind of like that this is where reporting was back then. Especially the first one. Randall resident Ray Goebel was recovering in the Morton hospital after he survived being gored in the chest by a bull he owned while leading it away from a barn.
Yeah.
Back in 1955.
You can still get that action today, I bet.
Yeah, I guess you just don't hear about too many bull gorings anymore.
No.
And in the Saturday, July 19th, 1975 edition, Morton resident Jerry Kelly? It's Gery.
Jerry, I'm sure
Jerry
it's
Kelly was planning a protest of the Morton police after she claimed law enforcement entered her home illegally without a warrant and arrested her husband on a charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor after police said they observed a 20-year-old drinking a beer on their property. Oh, Morton, never change.
Yeah, that could be from any decade.
I mean, if she would have done that 4 years ago, Morningstar would have rubbed his hands together and be like, "We got a lady coming by, do we?" Come on, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine.
People's Champion of the Week. I've got Oakville resident named Lewis County Tree Farmer of the Year.
Yeah, that's pretty much that one.
Oakville not in Lewis County all the way?
Not in Lewis County, no. Oakville is in Grace Harbor County.
It is Wild Thyme Tree Farm?
Thyme. I believe it's pronounced Thyme.
I don't think it is.
No, it's a good story. He and his brothers grabbed that land. I think they were from the South, if I don't recall correctly. They were from elsewhere in the country. They kind of just picked that because it was available. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there was a tour last
Immigrants,
Tuesday.
if you will.
Yes. Yes. Interstate immigrants. Uh-huh. That's what we should start calling them. Yeah, and there was a tour of his place, and yeah, it was fun. It was good. We always like to do it up big for the Tree Farmer of the Year.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Jake did a pretty good job with it.
All right. Boy, we've got some things to discuss, like roofs.
Oh, yeah.
If you need a roof to protect your ice-cold opinion page from the summer heat, who would you call?
I would call the Roof Doctor. There's really no doubt. They've family-owned business since 1959. And if you want to charge your takes with solar energy, they'll even help you with that because they do solar.
The Roof Doctor wants to know if your roof is under the weather, if your opinion page is under the weather. Call the Roof Doctor in Chehalis. They await your house call. You can call them at 360-623-7094. But they're not just in Chehalis. They've got locations in Bremerton, Hoquiam, Longview, Olympia, Shelton, Tacoma. All over the place.
They do. And I'm just seeing this now at cronline.com, but up to $1,000 off any new roof, 1,500 square feet or more, please.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, that's a pretty big roof. But if you get a big roof, it's
I think that's probably the
off.
house is 1,500.
I feel like if you're only covering 500, you get some extra overhang to get the 1,500.
Just to get that sweet
I mean,
discount.
you could have like an outdoor track along the outside of your house or something.
Yeah, just throw a couple extra feet on each side.
Yeah, that overhang would be sick. I mean, I'm not an architect or anything, but it sounds cool.
Like, I think there's some infrastructure that needs to be there.
They'd be structurally sound. Need some pillars.
You just got shingles flopping over the edges.
Just like your house is tiny on the center of your property, but the roof goes over the whole property.
Yeah, that's definitely not a hazard.
All right. It'd be cool, though.
It would be pretty sick. Do you have any good Sirens bangers of the week?
I fear I may have wasted the pentagram on the vehicle, but I did have that one. That happened over in Chehalis on July 22nd. A neighbor looked out the window and saw a guy just wailing on a car for no good reason. Jumped on the hood, carved
this is the latest thing
pentagram
posted to
into
Cronline.
it. Yeah, I'm our crime reporter today, so I typed this one up. We've been doing the crime reporter by committee since Emily left. I can announce that Jacob Farmer from the Nisqually Valley News will be our new crime reporter in early August.
When he arrived, he observed a black 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer. You have black capitalized there. And I would like to, I think you only capitalize that when you're discussing
Is it in a quote, though? Because I'm pretty sure I pulled that directly from a quote.
It is in a quote.
Then you have a whole nother debate, as you know, on whether to correct the grammar when it is a written source.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But really, I would have lowercased if I'd seen it.
Although the prosecutor's affidavit black Mitsubishi, like it's an African American Mitsubishi Lancer.
Yeah. When you capitalize it, that's the new AP style. Yep, you're right.
Interesting. Just an interesting, is it etymological debate?
Yeah. Well, the real debate is mental wellness debate, because this gentleman has mental health issues, and they have requested a review at Western State Hospital, and then he'll come back. He did not want to come to court today, so he did not.
I didn't know that was a decision you could make.
Yeah, no, you can. It's not good.
You know what? Braun was right.
It's not good for your case. It's just you can refuse and fight, and they'll the bailiff or the corrections officer shows up on video, and it's like, so and so does not want to be here today, and then the attorneys kind of hash out where it goes from there.
All right, how the pentagram, how distinct was it?
I didn't see a photo. I mean, it was enough to where they knew it was a pentagram. It was reported as a pentagram. The officer showed up. So a star with a circle around it.
Okay. Maybe he's a Captain America fan.
Star of David, is that your next guest?
No,
I don't think this Captain America symbol looks anything like a pentagram.
Well, it's a star with a circle around it.
Yeah, well, I guess it does look kind of like a pentagram. Jeez, I never thought about that. Make culpa.
If I were a local politician, I'd stop using the Captain America logo like that.
Well, yeah, Captain America's not what he used to be. Am I right?
He's not. He's no Superman. Did you see Superman yet?
No, but I really want to. I've heard nothing but good things.
You're going to hate this suggestion, and you'll never do it, but you should go see Eddington.
No, I don't even know what that is, so yeah.
It's the Ari Aster movie about 2020 in a small town in, New Mexico.
That sounds horrible.
And it's Joaquin Phoenix as a sheriff. Who kind of turns into, a constitutional-type sheriff, and he's fighting with the mayor of the town, who is a liberal, played by Pedro Pascal.
That sounds fun.
And it goes into what everybody was going through in 2020 with COVID coming in and overreacting, and there's kids out protesting, and the sheriff's bad at his job.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I had watched it. I was like, you know what? This kind of...
maybe I'll give it a look.
I think Schwartz would get it.
I'm really interested in biopics of the pandemic just yet, but it sounds interesting. It's got Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal.
It kind of satirizes everybody on each side. Emma Stone's in there for a minute. I liked it.
All right, well, I'll give it a look. And Superman. I do plan to see Superman.
Fantastic Four this weekend, too. Shayla's Outfitters?
Shayla's Outfitters, their big thing coming up this weekend is one of their most popular events, according to their social media, which I believe is direct from the mouth of Kelly Erb, store manager, former Chronicle Hall of Famer, is this Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They are going to have their fishing pond back. Bring the kiddos for a fun-filled day of fishing. No gear needed. They'll provide everything they need to drop a line, catch a fish, and even take it home. She says to keep an eye out for tagged fish. They will come with special prizes. This is one of our favorite summer traditions, and we can't wait to see all the smiling faces and young anglers, proud parents. So 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday and Sunday. Catch a fish, take it home for dinner, maybe get a marked fish, get a prize. Don't need to bring any gear whatsoever. Just bring your kids, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right.
Wednesday, July 23rd is also the last day of the summer sale.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the last day. That's where you can get all select firearms on sale in store, up to $400 off. Mm-hmm. And we went through most of these deals last week. But yeah, you can get backpacks, hydration packs, pool candy, non-edible, flotation devices, 80% off still.
What if they did have candy that you could just throw out in the pool and just swim around and eat it?
It's a pretty good idea.
I think that candy, it's just candy.
You should. I don't think waterproof your candy. Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The
also,
science,
get 50%
off
plants in the garden center.
Oh,
We missed that last week, and 40% off assorted garden decorations, but 50% all in stock plants in the garden center.
Okay,
you should get over there and get some plants for your garden.
My garden's pretty full. Do you need anything?
I saw you made booze out of your garden the other day. You made an actual alcoholic beverage out of your garden. That was amazing.
I did. It's a gin basil smash.
Okay.
It's gin, lemon juice syrup, and then you muddle a bunch of basil at the bottom of it. God, it's good. It's green. Looks like an ecto cooler.
Oh, good.
Yeah, delicious.
I don't drink personally. You know that about me. But
it's the reason this episode's been so strange.
Teetotaler.
Like I'm talking to a stranger. Facebook comments of the week.
Oh, good. We're already that far.
On the latest McCroskey column. And I, for the life of me, don't know if this is somebody doing a bit or not. But in all caps,
you're right. They really split the difference.
All caps, the illegals are eating our breakfast and lunch now! ! If we don't get them deported now, it will be our dinner tomorrow. And we, the working peeps, don't get free stuff and EBT food cards like they do, or free housing. The comic rats even get them free college. The only peeps I know who get free college are American military vets. I don't know.
I don't think it was satire. I think that was their honest thoughts on the matter. If I had to guess.
It's just boggles. The idea that like illegal immigrants are here signing up for benefits and getting free Medicare and housing. Like, I just helped my parents sign up for Medicare. And like, look, somebody fresh off the street that just snuck into the country that doesn't speak the language, they're not getting free health care.
I think it varies by state. I do think that there are states that offer it, and I think Washington is one of them. We had this discussion last week, though. I don't need to get as passionate about it, but I don't think it's as cut and dry as the complaint that your opposition, the people that disagree with you, have does not exist in any way, shape, or form, as is often the case. I think there is some truth there.
I would love to see the list of people arrested for Medicaid fraud.
I would like to see that as well.
And how many of them are illegal? Anyway, what's in the next edition of your fine newspaper?
Let's see what is in the next edition. I've been at the Nisqually Valley News all week. I do want to call attention to a very important Yelm online story. Let me get it up here. There is a big wrestling event that's coming on at the Stone City Events Center.
Is this pro wrestling?
Oh, yeah. Clash in Tenino. Inclusion Pro Wrestling looks to rock Thurston County with a debut. And Tenino has its very own local wrestler. His name is Will Spate.
Okay.
Better known as Spate. That's capital SP numeral 8.
Oh, I like that.
Spate. Yeah, that's what he goes by. So 4 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, August 2nd, they have a wrestling show there. And as you know, we have Jake Diamond out at the Nisqually Valley News, who will go and cover this with a straight face as an actual sports story. Full kayfabe is what they call it in the business. You're just pretending like it's real, because it is. It's real.
Sure. Yeah, whatever.
We've got some additional crime news that I have to write up. One of them I haven't written up yet, but there's a couple in court, and maybe I have the facts wrong, but I'll get the right when I write it up here shortly. On U.S. Highway 12 said that they were trying to pass a Walsh trucking vehicle, which I know you care deeply about.
It's not the same Walsh.
And they alleged that the Walsh trucking vehicle ran them off the road, and the woman in the vehicle had broken ribs and a strained neck and was very hurt, and they reported this to police. The police went and talked to the truck, who had a dash cam. And as it would happen, the oncoming vehicle, when this was all going down, was also a Walsh trucking vehicle, so they also had a dash cam. And it turned out that the couple actually almost crashed, and the trucker didn't do anything wrong. So they're charging them with like perjury and making false statements, both felonies. And neither of them showed up for court today, so there were arrest warrants issued for them.
Wow.
So kind of a different case.
Yeah, interesting.
Haven't seen that one. And then there's a fentanyl arrest in Napavine that we've got a story on, and a big fire out in Alaska that you could apparently see from just anywhere out.
Is that just a house fire, barn fire?
It was, but we have a video up of it now, and you can see it is a massive raging fire, not like what you might expect, like some damage in the home. It sounded like several buildings burned, like a classic Lewis County residence with lots of vehicles, outbuildings and things, propane tanks exploding, big giant red cloud over a significant chunk of Onalaska that people sent us photos of. So there's that. Plan to shoot thousands of barred owls in doubt because the feds have canceled the grants. So those 750,000 barred owls maybe won't be murdered in cold blood. Finally, some positive news from these federal cuts. Also, a very horrible story. Centralia man arrested for killing a kitten with a lawnmower tire.
Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty gross.
And that's up in our neighborhood, up in North Centralia, North Pearl Street. We had some coverage, as we talked about, of Music in the Park. That continues this week. There's a grand reopening for Fuller's Marketplace that I'm really excited about on Saturday. This is the Remember Us, We're Still Here, even though Winco is just over there now.
That's right. I still shop at Fuller's.
I do as well. I love Fuller's. Adna grad recovering from severe strokes stemming from brain abnormality. This is about Cody Rolfe, a relatively young Adna guy, graduated a few years ago from Adna High School, was working out and had a severe stroke, like kind of out of nowhere. There's obviously a lot more detail in the story from Dylan Rubin King, but basically he's in Chicago now. His treatment costs something like $5,000 a day, and they're asking for support from anybody who wants to offer it.
You've got a story ahead of permit to purchase, Washington State experiencing a surge in concealed pistol licenses. I just want to point out that the photo accompanying this is a fetching woman in a midriff-bearing shirt with a pistol strapped around her waist.
I did not notice that. I was more about the substance of the article, sir.
Wonder who selected
Some
that
people
photograph.
read the Chronicle for the articles.
The photograph, the photo credit on this photo is Seeds Unsplash. I don't know which of those things is referencing a photographer.
I believe Seeds is the photographer and Unsplash is the source in which it was found. It was the one that was running with the article on Center Square, and it's open source, so I just grabbed it because I
guarantee if you visit website unsplash.com or pull it up on Google, the link on your screen will be purple, my friend.
I don't know what that means.
Previously visited.
I haven't been there. Let's see. We'll test me in real time. Unsplash. Nope, it did not pop up. No purple screens here. Anyways, yeah, it was picked because Center Square had it, but I would be lying if I said I didn't notice the very description that you outlined there. But I don't know, photos of guns. We don't have a lot of them. We should have photos of guns.
We don't.
But I find myself in when I go to the file for photos of guns. We don't have a lot. We got like a photo of the evidence locker at the Lewis County Sheriff's Office. We have some photos from gun stores right at the beginning of 2020 when guns were selling a lot more because there was more talk of potential laws against them. And one of the gun cases that has the guns in it in this file photo also has toilet paper because if you can recall, at the time, toilet paper was in short supply.
The only thing they didn't bring up in Eddington was the toilt paper. I don't think there was any toilet paper references. But
I don't think there was ever really a shortage either. It was kind of just a blip in the news rotation. And, I never felt a shortage.
I was ordering like industrial size rolls.
Oh, really? Just like that sandpaper stuff?
Yeah, it was sick.
Oh, man.
People are coming over to my house, mocking me.
Should have just used your takes. Hey-o.
All right.
That's pretty much long and short. We might have a big fat breaking news story that we have a scoop on, and it's written up. We just don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow, and that is as much of a teaser I can give you, but it would be big news.
Are you going to tell me off, Mike?
Sure.
In closing, we're sponsored by Summit Funding, Shieldless Outfitters, and The Roof Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.